Okay, so graph y equals log 3 of x. So what this function is saying is that 3 raised to the y power equals x. Now let's make a table to see the x and the y. So we're gonna put the y on the right side and x on the left side. Let's see what happens when y equals -2. 3 to the -2 gives us 1/9. Now, let's increase y to be -1. We're going to get 1/3. Next, when y equals 0, we're going to get x equals 1. And as we increase to y equals 1, x is going to equal 3. And now, lastly, when y equals 2, x is going to equals 9. Now let's plot a graph. Let's put this on a graph. Okay, so here's my y-axis, and here's my x-axis. Now, we know that no matter how big or how small y gets, x would never get to 0, and x would never go below 0. So we can write that the domain is x is greater than 0. Now let's plot the graph, okay? Start with this. It's the origin 0, y equals 1, y equals 2, y equals -1, -2, and the x-axis, let's say 3, 6, 9. Okay, so now for the first point, we have y equals -2, x equals 1/9. Now, 1/9 is very close to 0, but not really. So 1/9, -2. Next, we have y equals -1 and x equals 1/3. A little bit to the right, 1/3, -1. And when y equals 0, we have x equals 1. There we go. X is 1, 0. And when y equals 1, x equals 3. Okay, and lastly, we have y equals 2, x equals 9. X equals 9, 2. Now let's plot the graph. Okay, so x would never touch 0, so that's the asymptote. Now it would go very close to 0, but it would never touch 0. Okay, so that's the graph for y equals log base 3 of x.